You know these cookies? Well, I'm gonna show you how to make them in one bowl, and they're gonna taste much better than that. That company is gonna blacklist me now. Let's get started. This bowl is the only bowl you're gonna need. So to it, we're gonna add the butter, and we're gonna need 1.5 cups of sugar. Make sure the butter is at room temperature so it'll cream up nice and well. Let's grab our mixer and get mixing. You're gonna wanna mix this for about 3 to 5 minutes. Right now, it's not there yet. You can see that the color is not as light, it's still yellowish. So keep mixing until you see it become white. While you're mixing, make sure that you get the sides of the bowl as well as the bottom so everything is nicely incorporated. You never know how long a minute is till you're mixing. This is probably the hardest part of the recipe, but as you can see, it's really not that hard. If you don't want to do it, just have someone else do it. See, that's what you want when it's light in color and fluffy. All right, now that this is ready, we're gonna add 2 eggs. So we're adding 1 egg at a time to make sure that it's fully emulsified before we add the next. Crack, plop, and mix. Whoa, 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 whoa. Make sure the eggs are at room temperature so they don't seize up your butter. And once it looks pretty well mixed, I'm just gonna come in with my spatula, make sure I get all the sides of the bowl as well as the bottom, and I'm just gonna give it one last mix. All right, that looks good. So let's add in our vanilla extract. So we're gonna need 2 of these, and let's give it another mix. Adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla is really gonna give this cookie a great flavor. Now, using this sifter and placing it right on the bowl is really gonna make this a 1-bowl recipe because we can add all our dry ingredients right here, sift it right in, and mix it up. I'm gonna grab some regular flour. So before I add this into there, I'm just gonna aerate some of this flour. I like to aerate my flour because it just feels like it wakes it up. I'm gonna level it off because we wanna make sure that these cookies don't end up dry by adding too much flour. So if you aerate that, it'll help. Now we're gonna add in our baking powder, some salt. All right, and now we're just gonna sift it right in. Look at that, it looks like it's snowing. This is gonna make sure that there's no clumps in the flour and everything's gonna be a really nice, smooth dough. To be honest, it's really easy and it's better than whisking it. All right, now let's give it a little mix. Make sure it's on low so all this flour doesn't puff up into your face. Oh my gosh, my hands keep pushing the speed up. All right, this is what it's supposed to look like. The dough came together really nicely. There's a little bit of flour left, which I'm just gonna mix by hand. So let me get some of this off the beaters. I'm right-handed, sorry. This cookie is so good, you're not gonna wanna waste any of this dough. Now I can just finish it off by hand, making sure I get all the flour from the sides of the bowl, as well as the bottom. Because these cookies are supposed to be nice and soft, you don't want to overmix the dough. Overmixing a cookie dough will really make the cookie a little bit tough and gummy. So we want to make sure that it's nice and fluffy. This right here looks perfect. Here I have a baking tray. I'm just gonna line it with some parchment paper so it doesn't stick. And now we're ready to scoop. So I have my dough all ready and I'm just gonna use this ice cream scoop to get my cookies in shape. So using this is gonna make sure that each cookie is the same size. And this is truly the easiest way to make cookies. You know, you don't have to roll it out or chill it or, cut it out. All you have to do is use this scoop and it'll make nice round cookies for you. All right, now that these are portioned off evenly, let's go ahead and roll. So I'm just gonna take one of these, lightly roll it. Try not to pack it down while you're rolling. Make sure it's a nice round shape and then place it right back. When you're rolling these, try not to handle them too much because you don't wanna warm it up from your hands. You just want nice and smooth. And I would say that when you're making cookies, it's essential to play Christmas music in the back. Cue Christmas music. Jingle bells, jingle bells. These cookies look great, but they do puff up a little bit and we want them to have kind of a flat top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my palm and press each one gently. Not too much, just maybe halfway. All right, and now they're ready to bake. So I'm gonna put this in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. All right, these are hot out of the oven. If you take them out of the oven and they're still a little puffy, just press them down like this. You're gonna want these cookies to be pretty flat so we can ice them nicely. The cookies have completely cooled, and that's really important because you want to make sure that the buttercream doesn't melt once you place it on. And speaking of buttercream, I have made up some right here. If you're interested in the recipe, you could check the link in the description. This is the fun part. So if you want to make a party out of it, go ahead and invite your friends, invite your kids, because they're really going to want to help you out with this. I'm going to give it a mix to wake up the frosting and smooth it all out. Grab a dollop on the back of your offset, plop it right on the cookie, and start pushing it down. I'm gonna swoop the frosting back and forth, pushing it towards the edges, and we're gonna swoop that frosting in the center just so there's a little bit of detail. Okay, now I'm gonna grab some fun sprinkles and decorate these right away because this buttercream kind of forms a crust, so you wanna make sure you do that before it crusts over. What a wonderful assortment of cookies. These are gonna be a crowd favorite. Remember these? Which one's better, this or this? Now let me take it up a notch and show you how to decorate them in an even fancier way. Don't be intimidated when you see decorated cookies like this. I'm gonna show you how to easily do it with just a zip top bag. So I took some of that frosting we had earlier and I put it in a zip top bag. I pushed it all the way to the corner of the bag and cut off a little opening so that we can use it as a piping bag. Give this a good twist and lock it with my thumb and index finger just so the buttercream doesn't come all the way out. And then I'm gonna take the extra bag, wrap it around my thumb just so it doesn't hit any of the cookies. All right, and I'm gonna decorate a tree first. So this is how I like to position my arms just to keep as steady as possible. I like to take my elbow, rest it down on the table, and then pipe hovering over the cookie just a little bit. If you do that, you'll have straighter lines than if you're touching and dragging the buttercream. I'm trying not to move my wrist. Instead, I'm moving my entire arm so everything is nice and straight. Now that we piped on our design, let's hit it with some sprinkles. And then we have a little star. There you go. Super cute. Let's pipe a wreath now. For this one, all you have to do is start piping a ring of circles. Create a pretty little ribbon. You can pipe a figure 8 and then draw 2 lines diagonally down. Now let's go in with sprinkles again. All right, and there's your wreath. See, it's super simple. Don't stress out about making these designs because it's also supposed to be really fun. Next up is the snowflake. So we're gonna make a series of lines. Now that you have these, we're gonna pipe little V shapes on each of these lines. Don't worry about mistakes because every snowflake is different. And now we can make it even cuter by bringing in these white nonpareils. All right, we have Winter Wonderland in cookie form. Now let's make a cute little gift. So for this, you just want to pipe a box. Again, we're just gonna fill in the shape, and again, a figure 8. And then this time we're gonna do a line straight down and a line across. There you have a present. For the final one, let's make a little scene. First, I'm gonna pipe a tree. And once we have the tree down, let's go ahead with our presents. Don't forget the sprinkles on the tree. It can look like little ornaments and a star. All right, there's your presents under a Christmas tree, and I know you can do it too. See how easy that was? I promise they taste much better than the store-bought ones, and we did it all just in one bowl. All right, I have to try one. Oh my gosh, guys, these are soft, buttery, and full of vanilla flavor. They're not as chalky or powdery as the store-bought ones. These are really, really good. I hope you give this a try. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Allrecipes for more videos like this. Happy holidays! 'Tis the season to make cupcakes. What a wonderful set of cakes.
We need to get her a cupcake.